You've been there, settling in for an evening of TV only to waste half the night scrolling. Enter Fire TV, entertainment with zero effort required. Fire TV serves up personalized recommendations from across all your apps. Not sure what to watch? Just tell Alexa Plus what you're in the mood for and she'll pull up the perfect recommendation. Problem solved. Stop the scroll, start the show. Find what you're looking for with Fire TV. Subscriptions may be required.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. With us today is Dr. Peter Michalos. Live long and prosper. But if we follow the rules, we may live longer and prosper. Well, Dr. Peter Michalos, any ideas what we should be following today?
Well, John, today we're going to talk about a very important topic, and that is colon cancer. And colon cancer seems to be on the rise in the United States, and that's a big problem, especially in the group under 45, which is increasing by about 3% a year. And many people aren't really sure why it's happening. Before, the recommendation to get a colonoscopy used to be 50 years old, but they reduced it now to 45 years old, because there was 152,000 cases of colon cancer in 2024, and the cases seem to be rising. In the United States, the top 5 causes of cancer death are lung, which is number 1, number 2, colorectal cancer, number 3, pancreatic, 4 is breast cancer, 5 is prostate cancer. But colon cancer is something that if you catch it early, you can definitely do something about it. And there are certain people with stronger family histories that they even recommend getting tested under 45 years old. And there's even a genetic syndrome that called Lynch syndrome where people have a higher incidence of it. Even on an eye exam, and you see these pigmented spots in the periphery called bear track signs in an eye exam, that's a sign that you have increased risk of colon cancer. So I've, as an ophthalmologist in the past, I've had to tell people go get a colonoscopy, and they're like, what are you talking about? And it turned out that they did have colon cancer, so it saved their lives. And one of the other good things that came out of the Affordable Care Act was that insurance companies and Medicare now are required to cover screenings for colon cancer. And the two main tests, we start off with a basic test that a doctor can do in the office. Nobody likes it, and that's the digital rectal exam. You put a sample on stool on a piece of paper with a chemical called a guaiac test, and if you see blood on it, that can be a sign of colon cancer. Of course, it can be ulcer disease or internal hemorrhoids, but that's a test that was done for many years. But now the best is, of course, direct visualization with a colonoscopy, which is a long scope. You get sedated, and they see the entire colon, and you can do an upper and lower GI scan just to see what is going on. There's no radiation. And the other test is a biological genetic cancer test called Cologuard, where the genetic cancer cells in your poop get tested, and if you find the genetic material that the cancerous polyps shed off the tumor cells, it's picked up by this test. And then if you have it, you can either remove it during the colonoscopy. It's a polyp because it has like a stalk. So basically you can cauterize it off. It's called a cold forceps, and basically it sends it to pathology. Or if it's a big one that's invading and you don't want it to spread, they actually go in and they take out the section of colon, and that can actually be done now robotically and laparoscopically. So if you catch these things early, you can go on and have a normal lifespan. Otherwise, it does spread to the liver if you don't do anything. It can spread to bones, the brain. But there are things you can do, because colon cancer starts with no symptoms, and it usually starts with precancerous polyps. So the things you can do to help avoid colon cancer really comes down to how we eat, and eating whole grain vegetables, fruits, some good Goya beans, and also eating an anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, fish, fruits, nuts, minimizing meat. Definitely don't eat burnt bacon. Do not eat well-done meat. That black stuff, the charred meat, is nitrosamines, and now that's been proven that is cancer. So people who think barbecues are so great, shave off all the black charred particles, because those are definitely carcinogens.
Let me ask you a quick question. Me and you think things out sometimes. Now, with all these chemicals, with the incidences of more colon cancer, with all these chemicals that they're putting into our food, and you eat it, and if you're not moving the poop fast enough through your system and you get constipation, then those chemicals or that thing that your body is trying to get rid of is stuck in your colon, and that's what, my belief, I think that's what causes the cancer.
Well, you're absolutely right. If you have a poison sitting inside the room for 10 minutes or 2 hours, it makes a big difference. So
or if you can't poop for 3-4 days, that is touching the colon.
Right, and that's why high fiber foods are important, because they act like sponges. High fiber diets actually help absorb some of the toxins too and help carry them out. And that helps a lot, just like fruits have a lot of fibers in them, and it helps move things along. And that's why olive oil, too. Olive oil lubricates your gut. That's why I start every morning with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin cold-pressed olive oil to pre-lubricate. And the same thing when you take pills.
I think that's the best advice we can give our listeners. Keep the stuff moving. Don't let it get stuck in your colon, because if it's bad stuff that your body is trying to get rid of, it's in your colon for too long a time, that's going to create a problem.
Right. And another quick cat's roundtable tip is that swallow water before you swallow a pill, because when you pre-lubricate your esophagus, then you take your pill, it goes down a lot smoother. Because people say my pills get stuck in the morning and it's hard to swallow. So the tip of the day is drink some water right before the pill, then swallow it with water, and you're less likely to get stuck. So eating and staying hydrated also helps to move the poop along faster. And you're right, the toxins are inside us less. And the more regular we are, that's why eating at certain times, that's why when you intermittent fast, you actually tend to have a more regular schedule of bowel movements. And all these things help to avoid colon cancer, which is on the rise. So please get your colonoscopies, get your Cologuard test. And there's even a new test called Cancer Guard, which is a blood test to screen for 50 cancers before they even start, when they're tiny, small molecules, before they even show up on an MRI. So we're going to be hearing a lot more about Cancer Guard, which was founded by the company Cologuard that does the poop colon cancer test. So a lot of exciting news that you can all hear on WABC to continue to stay healthy.
Dr. Peter Michalos, live long and prosper, and let's live long together, and God bless you and God bless America.
Thank you, John, for always getting the truth out on the Cats Roundtable.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.